Hi, welcome to the Shepherd University School of Music Mixed Ensembles Concert. This concert is going to feature music by our choral groups, our wind ensemble, and our jazz ensemble. A huge thank you to Welsh Sound for all of their help in putting this together. In lieu of tickets, please consider giving to the Shepherd University School of Music. The link to our donation site can be found below in the comments section. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're going to kick this concert off with a tune called Hay Burner.
The first piece that our Camerata will be singing is called Lumen by Abbie Betinis. Abbie Betinis is a young composer based out of Minnesota, and she has composed several rounds. The text for Lumen is in Latin. Lumen translates to light, and the text means receive the light and pass it on. I give that you may give. This text seems especially fitting for a round, since one group will start with the melody and then it'll migrate to the next group, to the next group, to the next group. When we were talking about the meaning of this piece, the choir talked about the golden rule, treating others as you would like to be treated, and also the idea of putting good out into the world through our music. We hope you enjoy Lumen by Abbie Betinis.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Wind Ensemble for tonight's concert. I'm Dr. Scott Hippensteel, the conductor, and I'll be conducting three pieces tonight. The first piece we're going to do is called Sea Songs by English composer Ralph Vaughn Williams and features some English folk songs, three of them to be exact. The first one is called Princess Royale, and then Admiral Benbow and Portsmouth. This piece was written in 1924 and was supposed to be the second movement of the English folk song suite, a very famous work by Ralph Vaughan Williams for band. However, the publishers decided to remove this second movement, the Sea Songs, and publish it separately. So now the English folk song suite has just three movements, and we have a standalone piece, Sea Songs.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rob Tudor, Director of the Ramblers Gospel Pop Choir at Shepherd University. We've prepared a couple of songs for this concert. The first one is Kirk Franklin's Lean on Me. You may not know the song and you may not know about the composer, but I hope you'll know more about it and appreciate him as much as I do after hearing this. Kirk Franklin was born in 1970. He's an American choral director, gospel musician, singer, songwriter, and author. He's most well known for directing contemporary urban gospel choirs such as The Family, God's Property, and One Nation Crew, and many others. He's won many, many awards, including 16 Grammy Awards, and Variety magazine dubbed him as the reigning king of urban gospel. He's one of my favorite composers of contemporary gospel music, and this song, Lean on Me, has a very positive message which the members of the Ramblers Choir really enjoyed preparing for this concert.
Skies are gone. Can't you hear him crying out? And there's a girl searching for a father and a friend, praying that the storm someday will end. But instead of walking away, open up your heart and say,
Cornet Chop Suey is an example of Louis Armstrong's early work in the 1920s with the Hot Five. This was a band he led that was populated with musicians from New Orleans and Chicago, and they played a very typical style of early jazz. So you're going to hear a lot of polyphony, and you're going to hear collective improvisation. And it really just is good old party music from back in those times. We hope you enjoy Cornet Chop Suey.
The first piece chamber singers will be singing for you today is called Ubikaritas by Norwegian composer Ola Yelo. The text translates to, "Where charity and love are, God is there," and ends with, "And from a sincere heart, let us love one another." Ola Yelo writes in his program notes that his setting is inspired by the famous setting by French composer Maurice Duruflé of the same text, Ubikaritas. Both settings are inspired by plain chant, and in this piece you can hear the chant by itself at the very beginning, sung by the sopranos and the altos, and then the rest of the choir joins in later. Yelo writes beautiful 21st century harmonies to harmonize the chant line. The choir resonated with the themes of comfort and community present in this text, and it seems incredibly important right now that we find ways to love one another. I hope you enjoy Ubikaritas by Ola Yelo.
The Wind Ensemble's next selection is Themes from Green Bushes by Percy Granger. This piece is a passacaglia on an English folk song, and the name Green Bushes is a folk song that Granger collected. He spent a summer in 1905 in England collecting folk songs from going around the countryside. His friend Edvard Grieg inspired him to use folk songs in his music. And over the next several years, Granger arranged many settings of these English folk songs that he'd collected. This particular one is famous enough to have been used in multiple settings. One of those is Vaughn Williams' English folk song suite in the second movement, the intermezzo. And another one is another work by Granger called Lincolnshire Posy, arguably his best work. And this is the Green Bushes is used in the last movement, which is the Lost Lady Found. The passacaglia is a Baroque term, basically a theme and variations. So he takes this main melody and he does all kinds of permutations to it, changes the harmonies, changes the voice leadings, puts it in all sort of different instruments, uses sort of all kinds of different effects of loud and soft and swells and mixes the melody all around in a very interesting and engaging way. We hope you enjoy Themes from Green Bushes.
Duke Ellington wrote over 1,000 compositions in his career. Many of them have various characters to them and moods and portray different scenes or are written for special people. And In a Melatone is one that really portrays the idea of being mellow, being laid back. So it has kind of a very laid back feel and a melody that everyone recognizes. We hope you enjoy In a Melatone.
The Wind Ensemble's final piece this evening is entitled Khan by composer Julie Giroux, written in 2008. This piece depicts scenes from the famous Mongolian warlord Genghis Khan, his life and conquests. The first section is sort of bombastic and starts with the section called Warlord, and moves on to a section on horseback, and then has this beautiful quiet scene that's sort of this village in the serene moonlight shortly before they're attacked by Genghis Khan's army, and it ends with a flourish of activity that is sort of barbaric. We hope you enjoy Khan by Julie Giroux.
Thank
This next piece that chamber singers will be performing is called I Stood on the River of Jordan, arranged by Colin Lett and edited by Marcus L.A. Garrett. Our soloists are Angelina Jackson and Julia Stonecipher. Colin Lett is a young African-American composer, but he actually did his undergraduate in our neck of the woods at Morgan State University. He also used to conduct the Baltimore-based Colin Lett Choral. He's currently the choir conductor at Selma High School, and he's also ordained as a Baptist minister. He and his work are new to me, and I'm excited to see what he composes in the years to come. I Stood on the River of Jordan is a traditional spiritual. The text is, I stood on the river of Jordan to see that ship come sailing over. I stood on the river of Jordan to see that ship sail by. Oh, mourner, don't you weep when you see that ship come sailing over. Shout glory, hallelujah, when you see that ship sail by. Oh, brother, you better be ready to see that ship come sailing over. Sister, you better be ready to see that ship sail by. Water was an important theme in many spirituals, as it allowed enslaved peoples to communicate about the Underground Railroad and the path to freedom in the North. The arranger, Colin Lett, sets this piece for mezzo-soprano solo with the choir in the background, mostly on oohs and ohs, and highlights this theme of water in the gently flowing vocal lines. Listen for the interesting syncopated rhythms in the choir, as well as the jazz harmonies that are infused throughout the piece. This is I Stood on the River of Jordan, arranged by Colin Lett.
Dizzy Gillespie is by far one of the most well-known jazz trumpet players of all time. One of his interests as a musician was that of Latin music, and specifically music from Cuba. In the 1950s and 60s, he was a huge proponent of Latin jazz and led that movement. One of his earliest tunes he wrote that incorporated these Latin elements was A Night in Tunisia. It featured a really memorable melody and a really cool bass line. And we're going to perform for you Sammy Nestico's arrangement of Dizzy's Night in Tunisia, and we'll feature Joe Rupert as our own version of Dizzy Gillespie. Hope you enjoy